For the past 5 years, the digital camera industry has been obsessed with speed. Every major manufacturer has focused heavily on super-fast burst rates and heavy video features. Cameras today are built to record high frame rate video and track action at blinding speeds. But this constant push for speed has left many photographers feeling ignored. Landscape shooters, portrait artists, and studio professionals do not always care about recording 8K video at 120 frames per second. They care about image detail, color accuracy, and dynamic range. They want maximum resolution and pristine image quality above everything else. Today, we are taking an in-depth look at a camera designed specifically for these creators. This is everything you need to know about the highly anticipated Nikon Z7 III. Before we dive into the details, it is important to set realistic expectations. The manufacturer has not officially announced this camera body yet. Nothing we cover today is confirmed by an official press release. Instead, our information comes from reliable supply chain reports, patent filings, and industry analysts. These sources have a strong track record of predicting camera releases accurately. The early information gives us a very clear picture of what this camera is designed to achieve. It points toward a body built from the ground up for serious stills photographers. The core of any digital camera is its sensor, and this new model is expected to introduce a major hardware upgrade. Reports suggest the camera will feature a brand new backside illuminated full-frame sensor. The overall resolution is rumored to land between 61 and 67 megapixels. This is a massive jump from the 45 megapixels found in the previous generation. Moving past 60 megapixels changes the way you approach taking photographs in the field. Having this much resolution gives you incredible flexibility during post-processing. You can crop heavily into an image and still have enough detail for massive physical prints. This high pixel count effectively changes how you use your lens collection. For example, if you are shooting a portrait with an 85mm prime lens, you can crop the image down to a tighter framing in editing. The cropped file will still hold enough detail to look like it was shot on a longer telephoto lens. You get 2 distinct focal lengths out of a single prime lens without carrying extra weight in your camera bag. This level of resolution is a game changer for wildlife and landscape photographers who often need extra reach. What makes this new sensor design even more interesting is how it reads out data. Unlike the speed-focused Nikon Z8 or the hybrid Nikon Z6 III, this camera is not expected to use a stacked sensor design. Instead, engineers appear to be using a non-stacked or lightly stacked architecture. Stacked sensors are great for fast readout speeds, but they often compromise slightly on dynamic range and noise performance. By choosing a non-stacked design, the focus shifts entirely to image purity and tonal depth. The goal here is not to capture 30 frames per second. The goal is to capture the cleanest single exposure possible. This engineering decision directly impacts dynamic range performance. Industry leaks suggest the new sensor could push dynamic range up to 15.5 stops. A dynamic range of 15.5 stops is a massive technical achievement for a 35mm format sensor. In practical terms, it means the camera can record extreme light and deep shadows in the same frame without losing detail. You can pull shadow areas out of darkness without introducing heavy noise or color shifts. At the same time, bright highlights in the sky can be recovered smoothly during editing. This extreme dynamic range is especially valuable for outdoor photographers. Imagine shooting a dramatic landscape right at sunrise. The sun is coming up over the horizon, making the sky blindingly bright. Meanwhile, the foreground trees and rocks are still trapped in deep shade. With a standard camera sensor, you would have to take multiple exposures and blend them together on a computer. With 15.5 stops of dynamic range, you can capture that entire high-contrast scene in a single raw file. Your workflow becomes faster, simpler, and far more reliable in the field. Handling these massive high-resolution files requires significant computing power inside the camera body. To keep up with the data demand, the camera is expected to inherit the flagship Z7 processing engine. This is the exact same chip used in the top-tier Nikon Z9. Having this level of processing power completely changes the user experience. The camera turns on instantly, menus respond without delay, and memory buffers clear much faster. Even though the file sizes will be massive, the camera will feel snappy and responsive in daily operation. The flagship processor also powers next-generation artificial intelligence autofocus algorithms. Modern autofocus systems rely heavily on deep learning models to identify objects in real time. The camera will automatically detect human eyes, faces, body profiles, animals, birds, and vehicles. It tracks these subjects smoothly across the entire frame, even if they move behind obstacles. Having advanced subject recognition in a 67-megapixel camera gives you tremendous confidence during high-stakes photo shoots. For portrait and wedding photographers, this subject tracking reliability is essential. When you are shooting with ultra-fast lenses at wide apertures like f/1.2 or f/1.4, your depth of field is paper-thin. A slight movement from your subject can cause the focal plane to shift off the eye. The camera's artificial intelligence handles that micro-adjustment automatically. You can focus entirely on composition and expression without worrying about missed focus. Furthermore, the autofocus system is designed to lock onto targets in near total darkness. Working in dim wedding venues or low-light event spaces becomes far easier. Ergonomics and physical handling are just as important as internal specifications. A camera can have the best sensor in the world, but if it is uncomfortable to hold, it will stay in your bag. Industry sources indicate that this model will keep a standard 35mm form factor. It will be noticeably smaller and lighter than the bulky Nikon Z8 or Z9 bodies. Keeping the body compact is a huge benefit for travel photographers and hikers who carry their equipment over long distances. You get flagship image quality without the physical strain of a heavy setup.